So y'all didn't know Armin is a girl? Hey guys, how are you? I hope you are well. Today I bring you 66 facts that you probably didn't know about Attack on Titan. And for those who don't know me, I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon that talks about Attack on Titan the most on YouTube, and you're on my channel. The emblem on the armbands of the Udians who live in Marley is a 9-pointed star, which represents among other things the 9 Titans. Mikasa's red scarf is a reference to the red thread of fate, which in Japanese legends represents an unbreakable connection between soulmates and people who love each other. The band Veil of Maya has a song called Mikasa, which is based on the character from Attack on Titan. The character Pixis was inspired by General Yashifuro Akiyama, who was in the Japanese Imperial Army. The character's name Porco was taken from the Latin languages and literally means pig. The author has already confirmed that Falco was inspired by the character Jesse Pinkman from the Breaking Bad series. Eren's face was drawn by the author in a female form to create Gabby. Sasha is named after comedian Sacha Baron Cohen, as Sasha represents a more comic element in the story. The Armor Titan was based on Brock Lesnar, an American professional wrestler. When someone from the Rice or Fritz family inherits the founding Titan, they are affected by Carl Fritz's will, and are given the trait of having a purple glow in their eyes. Attack on Titan Junior High is a comedy anime of Attack on Titan, and it has 12 episodes. There are live-action movies of Attack on Titan. They weren't very successful, and they're pretty bad in my opinion. The Levi bathes the Hang, and forcibly bathes her. Whenever she goes a long time without bathing, he literally knocks her out and bathes her. This means that Hang must probably stink. When Grishiator passed his powers onto Eren, he only had a few months left to live, so with or without the walls falling, he would have to pass his power on to someone else. Hajime Isayama, the author of Attack on Titan, is very demanding with the studio that makes the anime based on his manga, always supervising the smallest details so that there are no flaws in the script. Within the island of Parody there is a serious problem of drug trafficking. In 2014 the author made a joke saying that the girl that Mikasa considered her best friend was Armin, which caused a lot of confusion among fans. Soon after, Isayama clarified that it was all a joke and that Armin is a boy. Eren holding the stone to close the entrance to the wall is a reference to the Greek mythology character Atlas holding the earth. When Ymir returned to King Fritz, his tongue had regenerated thanks to his Titan powers, as slaves have their tongues cut out. The name of the protagonist Eren Jaeger is a name of Scandinavian origin and means sacred hunter. The scratches that remain on the face of Titan bearers are the visual connection that the human makes with the Titan, and it is thanks to this connection that they are able to see with the Titan's eyes. Annie's female Titan has the fastest regeneration factor out of all the others, while Peaks the cart Titan has the slowest regeneration. The only way to differentiate Marleyans from Eldians is by blood test. The former wielder of the Attack Titan Eren Kruger faked his blood tests in order to live a double life, pretending to be a pure Marleyan. Among the Eldians who live inside Marley, there is a religion which believes that one day Ymir will come back and save them. Within the walls, there is also a religion of fanatics who believe that the walls are their own god. The Eldian people who live in Marley do not have access to quality healthcare or education, and everything they do is strictly controlled. As soon as Marley's neighboring countries learned that they had lost 2 Titans to Parody, they banded together and attacked. The conflict lasted for years, and ended in the first episode of the 4th season. The natural gas that is used as fuel to equip Parody troops comes from a source in the center of the island. To access the Founder Titan's powers, the user needs to have royal blood, or be in contact with someone who has royal blood, but to access the Founder's power in its entirety, he still needs Ymir's blessing. Parody is a volcanic island, meaning it was created thanks to several volcanic eruptions in the middle of the ocean. Pure Titans can swim, and even go hundreds of years without breathing. Using the power of the Founding Titan, it is possible to travel back in time and alter the timeline by changing the events of the present. It is possible to use the Founding Titan to alter or remove disease, and even change the DNA of all Eldian people. Titanium liquid can be stored for centuries inside glass vials. but if it is exposed to oxygen, it instantly evaporates. Marley brainwashes all of its inhabitants to hate the Eldian people. Peak is the only one who manages to stay more than 2 months in her Titan form. The others can only maintain the transformation for a few minutes. Inside Annie's crystal, time passes normally for her, including her lifetime as a Titan wielder. So even if she stayed in the crystal, she would die after turning 13. The Tiber family was about to pass the Warhammer Titan to another user, indicating that Lara Tiber's lifespan was probably at an end. She would already have the Titan for about 13 years. The blades used by the Survey Corps to kill the Titans, dull in a single use, and have to be constantly replaced. If Frida Rice had passed her Titan on to the next generation, he would have given himself to Marley without a fight. King Karl Fritz II had Ymir's blessing, and was one of the only people in history to wield the founding Titan who was able to use its powers and abilities to their fullest. Armored Titan plate hardening is weaker than crystal hardening. Yelena considered Zeke a god, and truly believed that he and Eren were part of something bigger. It is not possible to split the original Titans into more than 9, any attempt to do so just spawns pure Titans. In the past, Eldia ruled the whole world, and the Eldian nobles each had their Titan. Usually they attacked each other to try to take the Titans from each other, but their battles were usually stopped by the bearer of the founding Titan. Parity and Marley are on different meridians and have different time zones, being exactly 1 hour apart. That is, Marley time is 1 hour behind Parity time. Author Hajime Isayama, in an interview, apologized for the ending of Attack on Titan. According to him, the ending was not as he expected, and claimed to have checked the opinion of many fans on social networks to create the ending of the work. The Berserker form that Eren's Titan showed when fighting Annie's Titan does not exist in the manga, being an anime-only edition, which is why this form was never used again. Initially, Peak was a male, and would have a completely different name and appearance. That's why her Titan face doesn't look like her, as it was inspired by that original male look. Are you enjoying the video, my people? Don't forget to subscribe to follow the next content. There is an underground city inside Parity under the walls. Those who live there are very poor and discriminated against, and the place is full of diseases, including Levi is obsessed with cleanliness precisely because he grew up in the city. Users of the Beast Titan, when they inherit the Titan, assume the form of the animal they have the most emotional connections with. If a wielder of any of the original 9 Titans is afraid, he will not be able to activate his transformation. Both Erwin and Armin could have been balances if Levi had applied some of the Titan's spinal fluid to each of them, as only part of the liquid is needed to transform, but Levi didn't know that, and applied all of it to Armin. Humans who become pure Titans are in a kind of sleep paralysis, seeing everything that is happening but not being able to control their body. Peak's father is an extremely sick man, and she only became Marley's warrior to be able to pay for the treatment of her father's illness. Before hunting Titans, Sasha was an animal hunter in the forest. Many things influenced the work, among them the author has already mentioned Norse mythology and also the movie Jurassic Park. The author once said that he worked in a cyber cafe, and that one day he received a very drunk customer who had difficulties in communicating, and he was inspired by this customer to create the Pure Titans. Annie's hairstyle was inspired by the famous singer Avril Lavigne's hairstyle. Ymir is one of the few characters that has freckles, and the idea was to give her a commoner appearance to contrast with Historia, which worked really well. Attack on Titan has a lot of influence from Watchmen. Levi was inspired by Rorschach, and Erwin had his physical appearance and personality inspired by Ozymandias. The all statuses of the character Kenny Ackerman show that he is inspired by the famous serial killer Jack the Ripper. Isayama even drew the Titan form of some of the main characters, such as the story that looks like an angelic Titan. Levi suffers from severe insomnia and only sleeps 2 to 3 hours a day, and because of this he usually sleeps sitting up in a chair. Isayama created Mikasa to honor a woman he met at a part-time job, and he made Mikasa's entire appearance mirror her. Don't forget to check out the other videos in this series on the channel's playlist. Until next time, my people, demonic hugs.